The Flash is now the cornerstone of the Arrowverse. And with certain shows like Supergirl and Black Lightning ending this year, it's all the more important that its upcoming Season 7 is a banger from start to finish. Will it be? More than likely, especially since a lot of work goes into making a show like The Flash, and that means they don't just gloss over things. They work hard to make everything work like it should, even if you don't even notice it. So with that being said, allow us to show you 9 behind-the-scenes facts of The Flash. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. 9. The show only exists because of Grant Gustin. We know that might be a bold claim to say, but it's true. When Arrow came around, there were no plans to start a universe worth of shows, let alone have them cross over so many times that it would evolve into the now legendary Crisis on Infinite Earths. But after the success of Arrow Season 1, they wanted to do a test. So, they hired Grant Gustin to be Barry Allen for a set of episodes during Season 2 of Arrow to see if people would resonate with this character and want to see him in his own show. It was what is referred to as the backdoor pilot, and sure enough, fans really did love his take on Barry Allen. And so after Season 2 of Arrow was done, a pilot was ordered for The Flash. So without Barry making that connection to fans, we wouldn't have gotten the series that we have now for 6 seasons. That being said, 8. There was a backup plan. Even though the CW was high on the idea of having The Flash be its very own series with ties to the greater Arrowverse, there was a backup plan put in place for Grant Gustin just in case the series didn't work out the way the producers had hoped. Greg Berlanti, the show's executive producer and one of the masterminds behind CW's expansive shared universe, revealed in an interview with Digital Spy in 2014 just what kind of contingency he and his fellow showrunners had in place, stating, "Fingers crossed we don't screw it up and he gets his own show. If he didn't, I don't think we would ever want to let Grant go. He's too valuable. That would be our hope. I think, no matter what, to keep Barry part of the universe." This line of thinking actually would lead to what we would know as the Legends of Tomorrow, where a lot of the supporting characters would go off one show and head to another to get more screen time, which even included Wally West at one point. Thankfully though, that didn't need to happen for Barry. 7. The wedding dress. In the 4th season of The Flash, during the Crisis on Earth X crossover event, Iris and Barry finally got married. An event literally building since the beginning of The Flash as a whole. But there is much more to that wedding than you think in terms of BTS stuff. In an attempt to add some level of realism and true emotion for the actors in the scene, Candace Patton, who portrays Iris West, was given the chance to pick up the wedding dress herself. She flew all the way out to Monteclair in Los Angeles to get the perfect gown. That's right, she went and got her own dress that she felt would be perfect for a wedding, even though it was a fake wedding. This very much speaks to the dedication of the actors, and the chemistry between Grant and Candace that they would go all the way out for a fake wedding between them. The irony, as viewers know, is that Barry and Iris didn't get married in their wedding outfits, but in street clothes at the end of the crossover. 6. The Trickster's return. You can't have a great comic book show with including some of the superheroes' fiercest adversaries. And that was no different from The Flash in 2014, when it was announced that Mark Hamill would be reprising his role as the Trickster in the CW series, nearly 25 years after he first portrayed the iconic villain in the 1990s Flash series. As shocking as this may have been for fans, it was more shocking for Hamill himself, who shared his disbelief during an IGN interview stating, "When they asked me to be part of it, the last thing I was thinking was that I would be returning to that specific role, but I think you're going to be really pleased with what they come up with. It was totally unexpected." What fans forget is that Hamill was a Trickster in Flash before he was the Joker in Batman, the animated series. And you can tell the similarities in the characters when you see him in the live-action Trickster again. Oh, and the first episode with him was considered one of the best of Season 1's episodes. 5. From actors to directors. What's really nice about many of the shows that are contained within the Arrowverse is that there's a sense of community between the cast. They seem to be as much of a family as the characters on the show, and it's been exciting to watch these actors slowly be given more responsibilities, like directing. Tom Cannaval and Danielle Panabaker have both gone into the director's chair and helmed some highly memorable episodes. It'll be interesting to see if any of the cast will go on to direct outside The Flash. And you should be curious, yes, they did have to go and take a class to make this happen, as Warner Bros. Actually has a class to help up-and-coming directors. Panabaker even spoke about it before her directorial debut, and praised Warner Bros. For allowing her to have the chance to do it. 4. Zooping. One of the coolest things about the production of The Flash is the way they were able to capture the lightning streaks that speedsters generate. In comparison to cinematic companions, The Flash's version of these colorful streaks is arguably much better than fans were expecting coming in the show, as the CW is known for having smaller budgets at times. The actual effect of blurring through a shot, sending papers flying in the air amidst a stream of red lightning, quickly became a trademark for the show, and it was actually named by the cast and crew. They called it zooping. 3. Canon's patent versus the fans. Even though The Flash is beloved as a series, there are some controversies that fans have called out that continue to resonate to this day for one reason or another. For example, ever since it was announced that Canon's patent would be playing Iris West in The Flash, there have been a lot of backlash from DC Comics fans over the casting of an African-American actress to play a character who has traditionally been presented as white and, most importantly in the minds of some fans, a redhead. This animosity steered towards Patton is both cruel and unjustified, but the leading lady of the CW comic series never seems to let the racism get her down, as she responded to a comment on a picture she posted on Twitter, saying that she single-handedly ruined the show, stating, "And I got paid big bucks to do it." Boom! Burn! Also, it should be noted that DC Comics legend Geoff Johns personally thanked Candace Patton for her run as Iris. So if he likes her, why shouldn't you? 2. The Flash meets the Flash. Easily one of the biggest and coolest moments of Crisis on Infinite Earths was when Barry found himself in the Speed Force and bumped into himself. But not himself as in Grant Gustin, but himself as the Ezra Miller version of the Flash that had been in the DCEU films. That scene was not supposed to happen in the initial crossover, mainly because the Arrowverse team thought they wouldn't be allowed to do it. But sure enough, WB not only signed off of it, they're the ones who asked for it. And just as impressive, they somehow kept this a secret, making it one of the most jaw-dropping moments and crossovers in history. Mark Guggenheim talked about the unbelievable scene happening in 2020. We were a series wrapped on Arrow, and we were wrapped on the whole crossover. We were in post, and some episodes were locked, and some were soft-locked. I got a phone call from Warner Bros. Boss Peter Ross saying, "I know you're locked, but can you put Urza in the crossover?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "And you're wrapped on the crossover?" And I said, "Yeah, I know, but you're telling me Urza Miller can be in the crossover? I can make it happen." And make it happen they did. 1. 52. There are many fun Easter eggs hidden throughout The Flash that pay service to the comics that the show pulls from. The number 52 is a big deal in the DC universe, particularly in reference to the new 52 run. To pay respect to this, every episode in The Flash's first season has the number 52 hidden in it somewhere. So go and find them all, if you can. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at the various BTS facts about The Flash and how the show really comes together because of them? Does this make you appreciate the staff behind The Flash more? Or make you appreciate what the actors have to do in order to make sure that things go right and look good? What do you hope to see in The Flash Season 7? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.